top level platforms. I think personally the top platform's YouTube. YouTube makes it really easy to use this sort of technology. So the great thing is you can film it on your 360 camera. Those files can then be edited quite quickly, and then the edit platforms will export a file that you just simply load to YouTube. And as soon as it's in YouTube, it'll just work. YouTube will see that file, or see it's a 360 file, and it will actually wrap that with that spatial data. And by spatial data, I mean it's not a flat image. So that's allowing those people to browse around up, down, left, right, behind them. YouTube supports up to 8K resolution. So it supports hyper high res 360 VR, which is really great. A lower res 360 VR video is going to be a lot softer. It's going to be lower quality. It's going to be less of an engaging experience. So the great thing about YouTube, they're supporting really high res files. And with a touch of a button on the YouTube mobile app, it's instantaneously VR compatible with VR glasses. And the other great thing is it's a global platform, so there's lots of traffic. So if you create some great 360 VR content, people can find it, the algorithm can push it, it can start to go a little bit viral. So it's a super handy tool. So no one really wants to make content that just sort of sits there and no one can find it or discover it. So I think YouTube gives you one of the best chances of being discovered. It's really simple, just upload and go. And YouTube also has some really great analytics. So viewership, viewer rates, where people are viewing from. And they used to have some 360 hot spots, so you could see where people were looking. They call them 3D heat maps. So just a couple little screen grabs here. So on the left there's a virtual reality channel on YouTube. It's a great channel. It surfaces and curates lots of top VR 360 video content. So it's a really great place to go and watch and get some inspiration or get some ideas. In the middle there, that's with the Fox, that's a computer-generated VR example, but that's what in VR mode what it'll look like. It turns that image into two separate images, a left and a right eye image. Underneath that white Fox, we've got just a screen grab, just a cell from a 360 video clip that a YouTube artist has done. And then top right there, you can see this is the heat map. So this is a flattened version of a 360 image, but you can see where people are looking. So a great thing about the YouTube analytics is you can double check that people are looking where you want them to look or absorbing the information you need them to absorb. And if they're not, you can do something about it. Bottom right there is an example of the Google Cardboard. So you can watch 360 VR video on any device, so mobile phone, tablet, desktop, laptop. Okay, you don't need any special gear. It's supported natively in YouTube right now, and you can just use the mouse to scroll around. But on a mobile phone, through their app, you can hit the VR button and it turns it into a stereoscopic view. And with something as simple as a $5 pair of Google Cardboard, you can put that on and start enjoying 360 VR content. No need for $1,000 Oculus Rifts or anything fancy like that. Now, if you do have an Oculus Rift, it does support it. So that's the great thing. Whatever you do here on YouTube is supported on any device and any headset from cheap to very expensive. So it's a great way to start sharing and creating interactive 360 VR content. The second place to do it is Facebook. Facebook supports 360 photos, 360 video as well. There is a maximum resolution that Facebook will support. It's 4K, so not quite as high quality. It's still pretty simple. You can just upload and go. You can define the first scene you want people to see. We'll talk about that in a little minute because people are still quite new to this. They don't know where to look. So defining that first scene gives them a starting point so they just don't get confused or start to feel sick or click off. The analytics aren't quite as deep on Facebook. As Facebook itself, to get traffic and views, it relies a lot on paid now. So there's less search traffic, less organic traffic coming through. And just a screen grab there of what Facebook's 360 VR is looking like. So it's their search box on the left. Still a great range of content, but a little harder to find. I found it a little harder to navigate. And on the right, they're supporting it in a similar way to YouTube. So that's a 360 VR roller coaster. Give it a crack. It can get, watch that at home. It can get a little disorientating, but it's a really fun use case of 360 VR video.